contacted by a lot of people that have sick dogs and they want to put their dog on raw diet. And, you know, if it's like a skin problem or something, that could definitely help. Definitely. If it's some things, you can definitely help. But if you've had your dog on pet food for a lot of years and your dog has issues, like I just had somebody contact me that has a dog that has been on pet food. The dog's 11 years old and is diabetic. I'm like, don't switch your dog to raw diet. Use science diet, use Royal Caine, do what the doctor suggests. It's a fact, man, anytime like that. Diabetes, a liver shunt problem. I had a friend that had a dog with a liver shunt problem, and I told her flat out, I said, look, your dog is sick. I would watch the dog. Your dog is really sick. She said she had this in her head that she was going to give the dog the best diet possible. Well, your dog is really ill. The best diet possible is the one the doctor is recommending. I'm just stating the facts. It has a liver shunt problem. It can't, you know, protein's an issue for the dog. So she was making this fish-based, you know, mix and giving it to the dog, and the dog was just losing weight right and left. I kept trying to talk her into it, and she's going, no, this is better. She went to a doctor in Williamsburg, you know, this trendy area of Brooklyn, and the doctor gave her this recipe. Well, Cricket kept losing weight and losing weight. So Cricket stayed with me. I told my friend, I said, let me run Cricket to my doctor, because I knew what my doctor would say. He'd say, let's put the dog on Royal Caine. I was all for it. So I'm on the phone. I'm like, well, I'm at the doctor's office. He wants Cricket to not be on this diet that you're making and try Royal Caine. And she, you know, she didn't want to say okay, and then she'd go, okay, is that what you think is best? And I said, yes. I'd already been saying that's what's best. So she put the dog on Royal Caine, and it started gaining weight. I'm telling you, listen, if your dog has something like that, you listen to the doctors. You're not going to get me to go against the doctor's advice. I was a vet tech. I'm not going to be like, oh, your dog has a liver shunt problem, we're going to give it a better diet than like something that some company really spent millions of dollars producing. And when it comes to that kind of stuff, like the liver diet, the kidney diet, all that, yeah, use it. Seriously, use them. But if you have a healthy dog and it's a young dog and you have it on pet food, you're an idiot, because a lot of these problems, not the liver shunt problem, that's congenital, but you know, that's not gonna, a better diet is not gonna help the dog with the liver shunt problem, okay? Well, it is gonna help, but it's gonna be a prepared, one of the specialty diets. But if you're thinking that your pet food, your Blue Buffalo or whatever that you feed your dog is good, well, it's not as good as raw. It isn't. Do you understand what I'm saying? If your dog is healthy and it's young, get it off the pet food, because it causes a pandemic among our dogs and cats. But if you've had the dog on the shitty pet food for 11, 12 years or whatever, and now your dog has some kind of illness like diabetes, you use the prepared diet that comes in the can for that specific problem. That's my recommendation. Especially diabetes, you know, you want to be giving them the exact amount, you know, the feedings you want to keep the same time every day. You want to check the blood. Do you understand? It's going to be more consistent. That's the way that it is. You're not going to get me. Listen, I think the veterinary community, there's a lot of bullshit and they're out to make money. And they do sell these specialty diets, and in many cases, the specialty diet for the dog that has diarrhea, if it wasn't on pet food, it wouldn't have diarrhea. Joopy, there's a perfect example. The dog had diarrhea all the time, and they put Joop on one of these specialty diets, which says right on it, for intermittent use only. And he was doing a board and train. I'm like, well, let's get him off that and let's put him on a raw diet. And lo and behold, he gains weight now. He doesn't have this problem with diarrhea. But, I mean, I'm sorry. What do you want me to say? You have a dog that's diabetic. That sucks. But you better stick to what the doctors say at this point. If you're... I'm sorry. Your raw diet is not going to be a panacea. It's not. It's not going to cure everything. And if you've had your dog on a raw diet, my dogs... I have a lab named Ike. He was on a raw diet for years. He's 13. He's 13. You know, when he was about 10, he started having skin problems, which looks like it was due to he built up an allergy to chicken. So it took a couple years to figure out what's going on, and he's also on a low dose of thyroid medication right now. And he's better. He's staying on raw. I'm gonna keep him on raw for sure, but I had to switch him to a pork-based diet. But it is not a panacea. When he was 10 years old, he started having some skin issues. Do you understand? Like, you only get so much with the dog. They don't live that long. It sucks. I wish that they lived longer. Having a great diet for your dog its entire life, that's gonna... He's a 13-year-old lab. A lot of labs don't make it to 13, and he walks around great. He doesn't have arthritis. You know, the skin problem's going away. Do you understand my point? I understand you have a problem, like the chick with the diabetic dog. You know, I get it. She wants the best for her dog. But really, my recommendation right now is that you take the blood, you know, you take the blood daily like you're supposed to, and you give them meals right on time. That's it. And you use the prepared diet that either Royal Canin produces for that, or Science Diet, or maybe Purina makes one too. But that is my suggestion. I'm sorry if you contact me with your dog with a liver shunt problem. I'm going to tell you, put the dog on what the doctor tells you. You know, that will get the weight on the dog the quickest. A diabetic dog, same thing, man. You need to follow the doctor's direction. I'm not going to go against the doctors. Yes, the veterinary community in a lot of respects is fucked up, but there's also stuff that's related to science that's going to be true too. They do have a basis, you know, when they say to people, well, we don't want people put their dogs on raw diet. It's they have some factual information that is a fact that it does make sense why they don't want people to put their dogs on raw diet. You can, you know, take the public health issue and throw that out the window, because the chickens from Tyson and Purdue, they're all inoculated for salmonella when they're in the egg. So that's bullshit. But the fact that people can't give their dog a balanced diet is just a fact. The number one deficiency of all our pets is calcium. You know, people go put their dog on raw diet and they don't even add calcium. So that screws up the dog's calcium phosphorus level, and you'll really fuck your dog up. So that's, you know, the vets are saying that like if people are just allowed to do it, the dog isn't going to get the minerals and shit that it needs. It's, you know, there is some basis that, you know, humans are either arrogant or stupid. You know, how many times you know, I tell somebody, you know, your dog has to, if you're going to give ground meat, ground turkey or whatever, you have to add calcium. And then I go over, it has been a while actually, but you go over to there and, well, how's your dog doing on the raw diet? Well, you know, her poop isn't so good. Really? It's totally solid with me. What are you feeding her? Well, I went to the store and I'm using turkey. Let me see what you're using. And they're showing me ground turkey, and I said, well, what calcium are you adding? No, I just gave her that. You didn't hear a motherfucking thing I said, did you? I'm telling you, people, you know, hear what they want to hear. And I'm not going to sit here and go against, you know, a doctor's advice of like, if your dog is sick, right, Your dog is sick. I understand the notion I'm gonna give it the best diet. So I'm telling you flat out, if your dog's super sick with an illness like this that's not gonna go away, it's not a skin problem, switching it to raw is a big mistake. You need to listen to your doctor. That's just how it is. I'm sorry. You know, so don't call me with your dog with the liver shunt problem and think that, you know, I can wave the magic wand and make your dog not ill. It's not gonna happen. It's too late. Well, listen, I was gonna say you had your dog on pet food for so many years that the liver shunt problem really doesn't have anything to do with that. That's congenital. But do you understand the point? If your dog is healthy, switch it to raw diet as soon as possible. And if you're getting a puppy, never have your dog on pet food. Why would you want to if you look at your pet food bag, it's full of preservatives and chemicals. Why would you do that to your dog? Why would you do that? And if you're using Beneful or anything that has coloring in it, food coloring, what the fuck is the matter with you? Seriously, you're putting that food coloring and those preservatives in your dog on a daily basis, and then your dog's older, and then you have some kind of issue, and you can't figure out what the problem is. Then you want to switch it to raw. Too late, you know? Too late. One other thing, if you're giving Gaine's burgers or greenies or any of that shit, any treats, check your bags. You know, it's gonna have sugar. Gaine's burgers has a lot of sugar in it. It has corn syrup. But many of these treats, sausages, all that stuff has sugar in it. You might say fructose, it might, you know, but it has sugar in it. Dogs don't eat sugar. Did you give your dog treats like that for its whole life and now your dog is sick? You know, don't come crying to me. You think that a dog is supposed to eat sugar? I've never thought that. I've never thought that. Even back when I was feeding pet food, many years ago I was feeding pet food. But I never thought that a dog was supposed to have sugar. But people give their dogs ice cream and all this kind of shit. You know? You can't change stupid, seriously.